Hello everyone, welcome to IITN's GATE classes. So today's session we are going to see the GATE 2021 solution of digital electronics for the branch Electronics and Communication. So let us then begin the session. So the first question that we have here is, if 1235 in base x is equal to 3033 in base y, where x and y indicates the bases of the corresponding number, then you need to determine this base x and base y. So how are we going to solve? So this is 1235, x is equal to 3033 y. Okay, so let me expand this. So this will be what? X cube plus 2x square plus 3x plus 5 is equal to 3y cube plus 3y plus 3. So I can simplify this. So taking out x common, this will be x square plus 2x plus 3 plus 5 is equal to 3 if I take out common. So this will be y square plus 1 plus 1. Okay, so just for simplification I have written like this. Now with the option I am going to check. Okay, with the option I am going to check. So let me see for option A. For option A, what do I get? So this is what? Option A, x is equal to 7. So let me see, this is 7, 49 plus 14 plus 3 plus 5 is equal to 3 into y is 5. So 5 into 25 plus 1, so 26 plus 1. Okay, so this is what? 49, 63, 66. 66 into 7 is what? So 7 6 it is 42. 420 plus 42. Okay, so what I am doing? 66 into 7. So I am doing what? 60 into 7 plus 6 into 7. Okay, like this I am solving. So this is what? 462. 462 plus 5. So that is 467. So this is what? 26 into 5. So if I do this, 130, 131. So this is 393. So this is not equal. So option A is incorrect. So your mathematics, your calculation should be like this. You should be able to perform like this. And how am I doing this? I don't use calculator. See, I have kept this calculator. I don't use it until and unless I require it for values such as log, e, or very complex type of calculation. I use this calculator. Okay, even I forbid you people to use this one also. Better is you upload a app. There is one app for GATE calculator. You can download it from Play Store and use that for your calculation. Okay. So let me check option B. So for option B, x is 8, y is 6. So let me put here. So x is 8. 64 plus 16 plus 3 plus 5 is equal to 3 into 8 into, this is what? 6. So 8 into, sorry, why 8? It is not 8. So this will be, y is 6 na? So this will be 6 into 37 plus 1. Okay, fine. So this comes out to be 64 and this is 80, this is 83. So 83 into 8. So that is 640 and 324. So this comes out to be what? 664 plus 5. So 669. 669 is equal to 3 into 37 into 6. So 180 plus 42. So 180 plus 42 is 222. So this is 223. 223 and this is what? This is 669. So 669 is equal to 669. Hence option B is your correct. Okay, so option B is correct. So this, if you are very good with mental calculation, so what will happen, you will save some time in just putting all these values in calculator. Okay, so I have simplified like this. Why? Because directly if you do so, you know the squares very easily and you can perform the multiplications of square easily compared to the cubes. Okay, so this is my way. If you have any other approach, you can do what? You can write it in the comment section below. Let me also know your method. Okay. So the next question what we have, addressing of 32K into 16 memory is realized using a single decoder. The minimum number of AND gate required for the decoder is. So your memory is how much? Memory is equal to 32K into 16. So basically 32, K means what? 2 to the power 10 into 16. 32 means what? 2 to the power 5 into 2 to the power 10 into 16. So this is what? 2 to the power 15 into 16. So tell me, for this much memory, how many address line do I need to require? So basically what is happening, let me show you. So there are 2 to the power 15 memory cells or memory locations. Okay, and each of them is of how much bit? It is of 16 bit. Okay, these all are 16 bit. It is given like this. Okay, 16 bit, 16 bit, 16 bit, and here we have what? 32 such cells. Okay, so how many address line do I require to specify each of the location? Obviously 15 address line. I will be requiring how many? 15 address line. Okay, 15 address line I will require. Okay, for specifying the memory location. So now this 15 memory means this memory. Okay, there are how many cells here? Here we have 2 to the power 15 cells. Okay, 2 to the power 15 memory cell. Now I need to locate each of them with the 15 address line with the help of a single decoder. So I need a single decoder. So what will I do? Basically I will make a decoder. So this is my what? This is decoder. What is the size of the decoder? It is 15 into, not 15 into, 15 into means 15, 2 to the power 15. So I have 15 input lines. Okay, I have 15 input lines and output lines are how many? 2 to the power 15. So this line will be given to this memory location. This line, it will be given to this memory location, and the last line, it will be given to the last memory location. Okay, so like this. So now they are asking how many number of AND gates are there in this decoder or in this whole circuit. Okay, in this whole circuit. So now how are you going to find? Very simple. I will show you first for 2 cross 4 decoder. Okay, 2 cross 4 decoder. So basically how does a 2 cross 4 decoder looks? So basically we have 2 input lines. So let me give this as O0, O1, O2, O3. Okay, so when I0, let me also make the truth table. I1, I0. So this is only for explaining you people. Okay, So when I1 I0 has this binary combination, so which line will get activated? Only this first line will get activated, rest all of them will be inactive. If the combination is 0 1, first line O1 will be activated, rest all the line will be inactive. Similarly for 1 0, second line will be active, rest all inactive. And if it is 1 1, then what will happen? Third line it will get activated, rest all of them will be inactive. So now if I make this using basic gates, how am I going to do? Very simply, look. So this is my, this is my I0, this is what I0 complement. So here we have I0 and I0 complement, and I need one more. And this is what? This is I1. Okay. So now look, how am I going to realize this circuit? So basically when both of them are so first I am drawing the circuit, then I will be explaining you. Okay. So this line corresponds to I equal to normal, and this corresponds to I1 complement. Okay. This corresponds to what? I0, and this line corresponds to I0 complements. Okay. So our next case is what? I1 equal to 0. So I1 0 and I0 1. Okay. So this one. Next is I1 1 and I0 0, and the last case is both of them are 1. Okay. So with the help of such type of circuit, I am going to realize a 2x4 decoder. Okay. So this is basically O0, O1, O2, O3. Now suppose, let me show you for this case. I1 is equal to 0 and I0 is equal to 1. Okay. So if this is 1, what will happen? This line is 1, this line is 0, and if this is 0, this line is 0, this line is 1. So see which of them is getting activated. So basically this line here, it is having 1, and even this is having 1. Rest all of the AND gates, any one of the input is what? It is 0. So output will be 0. So this is 1. So for a 2x4 decoder, how many AND gates do I require? 4. Similarly, for a 15x2 to the power 15 decoder, how many AND gates will I require? 2 to the power 15 AND gates. Okay. So the next question is a very simple question. 8-bit unipolar on analog outputs are positive. Okay, all of the analog outputs are positive. Digital to analog converter DAC has full scale voltage range from 0 to 7.68. So voltage full scale is what of the DAC? It is 7.68 volt. Fine. If the digital input code is given, so input is what? 100101110. The leftmost bit is MSB. Okay, so we know this is MSB. Then the analog voltage of the DAC rounded off to 1 decimal place for this corresponding input. Fine. So what is the step size? Step size is voltage full scale divided by 2 to the power n minus 1, where n is what? Number of bits in your digital to analog converter. So here what we see, this is 7.68 divided by 2 to the power 8 minus 1. Okay, so this is your step size. Now this input corresponds to what number or what step? So what is the step? So this is 2, 4, 16. So this is what? This will be 128. So 128 plus 2 is 130. 130 plus 20, it is 150. Okay. So now for solving this, let me solve it one more step. Divided by 255 into 150. Okay. So now let me solve this. So for this I need my calculator. Okay. So this is 7.68 into 255 into 150. So that comes out to be nearly 4.51. But look at the answer, rounded off to one decimal place. So if I round off this, so this will be what? 4.50 volt. Okay, 4.50 volt will be the answer to this question. Very simple question you have here. Okay. So the next question, such type of question was asked once before in the GATE exam only. I think in 2017 or 2018 such type of questions was asked. There was basically an inverter here. Okay, so I have taken that series also. If you haven't done so, just go into my HAL and HPCL sessions for electronics that I am currently taking on our platform. Okay, in our channel, you can go and see there. I have solved the exact question. Okay. So what is given here? The propagation delay. See, for such type of question, it is quite important that you are able to see the input travel in this circuit without drawing it. Okay. So you should be very good in, means what I should say, in visualizing this thing. Okay. So the propagation delay of XOR gate, AND gate and multiplexer in the circuit shown are, so XOR is, it is 4 nanosecond, for AND it is equal to 2 nanosecond, and for multiplexer it is equal to 1 nanosecond. Okay. Now if all the input PQ RST are applied simultaneously, so all the inputs are applied simultaneously and held constant, the maximum propagation delay of the circuit is. So they are asking what is the worst case propagation delay or the maximum propagation delay, and I have, means if I want to tell you what is maximum propagation delay, that in a path from input to output, all the elements they are suffering from delay. So what I told, from input to your output, whatever elements are present, all of them will suffer from your delay. Okay. So let me assume for t equal to 0. Okay, for t equal to 0, what will be the path of my input? So t equal to 0, if I put here, so what will happen? This input will be getting selected and this input will get selected. So basically this will be the path. Okay, but you see what? This is getting connected to 1, but your input of this as t is equal to 0, so this will be connected to your output. So this input, it doesn't matter anymore. So you need to calculate directly this path, and this will be the path of your input to output when t is equal to 0 is applied. So when t is equal to 0 is applied, you can see this is one AND gate, for AND gate 2 nanosecond, and this is 1 mux, and for this I have 1 nanosecond. So in total 3 nanosecond delay I am getting here for this when t equal to 0. Now similarly, let me check for t equal to 1. Okay, for t equal to 1, let me check. So when t is equal to 1, what will happen? This input will be getting selected and this input will be getting selected in both the mux. So let me see what is the path from input to output. So from here this will come here, here, and even here. Okay, so this, it doesn't matter, we are not going to consider because this is 0, this input will not be connected to your output. Okay, so if this is the path of my input to output, so now for t equal to 1, what is your delay? So there is one AND gate, so 2 nanosecond, one mux, so that is 1 nanosecond, again one AND gate, so that is 2 nanosecond plus 1, so this is your 6 nanosecond. So your answer to this question is 6 nanosecond. Okay, very simple question, very simple question based on previous year questions. So that is why I always stress in my class also, and here also I will stress that if you people solve confidently all the previous year questions, suppose you are from ECE, okay, and if you solve confidently with understanding all and each of the concept of ECE, EE and IN, all the three common branches along with your core, then you will be able to solve nearly 40% of your gate questions without any hesitation or any problem. So it will be very simple for you if you understand, and for the rest 50%, sorry, we have already done 40%, for the rest, I will say for the rest 40%, you need proper guidance. Okay, proper guidance means what? Proper textbook you need to see, proper concept you need to understand. So once you are done with this 40%, the next 20%, it is highly conceptual questions. Okay, very good questions. So that will come automatically when you go and solve maximum number of test series. If you attempt maximum number of test series, that will be very helpful to you. Okay. So the next question, it was asked from microprocessor, but microprocessor part it was omitted from GATE 2021 syllabus for ECE, but still it was asked and it was not that difficult question. Okay, it was not at all very difficult question. So push and pop, tell me how many bit instructions are they? Yes, if you have, means if you told me answer as 16, so you are correct. Okay, so let me assume this is the stack. Where is the stack pointer? Stack pointer is at top. Okay, so what will happen? So here the question is given, the content of registers are R1 is equal to 25, R2 is equal to 30, R3 is equal to 40H. The following machine instruction are executed: push R1, push R2, push R3, pop R1, pop R2, pop R3. So basically you are pushing the content of register to your stack. Okay, you are pushing the content of the register to the stack using push, and using pop command you are taking out the content of the register, sorry, the content of the stack pointer to your register. So how are we going to solve this? Look very carefully, this is very basic question. So when you push R1, so what will happen? This content of R1 25H, it will be pushed to the stack pointer. Now what is the next command? Push R2. So basically what will this push R2 do? It will push this value of stack pointer to this stack pointer minus 2. So this will be now 25H, and what will be the content in the stack pointer? It will be now 30H, whatever was the content in R2 given here. Now what will happen when you push R3? So when you push R3, this will go into SP minus 4, and this 30H, it will come down here, this 25H come here. So if I do this, so basically what will happen? This is 25H, SP minus 2 will have content 30H, and what will be the value of stack, means what will be the content in the stack pointer? It will be now the latest data, that is R3, so 40H. So now this is the content of your stack. Now the next instruction that you have is pop R1. So basically this is last in first out. Okay, so basically in stack we have last in first out. Okay, first out. So now what is pop R1? So basically R1 now, the data of R1, it was 25H, now it will be replaced by 40H. Okay, R1, this data will go into R1. Fine. So what will happen to this 30H? It will move back to this position at the top of the stack. So now again what is happening? This 25H, it will move back to SP2. So this is now 25H and this is what? 30H. Now again what we have? Pop R2. So what will happen when I do pop R2? So R2, the content of R2 will be now the top of the stack, whatever data is there in the top of the stack. So that is 30H. And this 25H, it will shift to the top of the stack. Similarly, the last command is R3, pop R3. So that will be what? We will be having 25H because that was the last content we had. So this will be the content of the register R1, R2 and R3. Which option do you see? R1 40, R2 30 and R3 25. So option A is your correct. Okay. So option A is your correct answer. So this question, this was a very good question. Okay. This was a very good question, and even people, those who did not have the concept, even if they applied the normal procedure, they would have got the answer. So I will say this question is a very, very good question. So let us solve this question first, and then I will tell you if you also did not have the concept of delay, so how you people will be getting the same answer. Okay. So look, the propagation delay of the exclusive OR gate. So this XOR gate in the figure is 3 nanoseconds. So you have propagation delay of XOR gate is what? It is 3 nanoseconds. Fine. The propagation delay of all the flip-flop are assumed to be 0. So propagation delay of flip-flop are assumed to be 0. The clock frequency provided to the circuit is 500 megahertz. So the clock has frequency 500 megahertz. So what is the time period of clock? 1 by 500 into 10 to the power 6. So this is what? 0.2 into 10 to the power minus 8. So 2 nanoseconds. Okay. So time period of clock is 2 nanoseconds. Starting from the initial value of the flip-flop output Q2, Q1, Q0 like this, with D2 equal to 1. With D2 equal to 1, the minimum number of triggering clock edges after which the flip-flop output Q2, Q1, Q0 becomes 100 in integer is. Okay. So you need to find after this starting value, when will again this value come. Okay. Suppose if this XOR gate had no propagation delay, if it had no propagation delay, then what will you simply do? This is a asynchronous counter. So asynchronous counter is driven by your next state equation. So let me find the next state equation. So Q2 plus is equal to D2, which is equal to what? Q2 XOR Q0. What about Q1 plus? It will be equal to D1. So that is equal to Q2. And what is Q0 plus? So this will be D0. So this will be Q1. So simply if I formulate the state table, so this is clock pulse. So this will happen what? This is Q2, Q1, Q0. At clock pulse 0, what was the value? Initially it was 1, 1, 1. At first clock pulse, what is the value? Q2 XOR Q0. So Q2 XOR Q0, that is 0, and this will be 1, 1. Why 1, 1? Because Q1 plus is D1, which is equal to Q2, and Q0 plus is D0, which is equal to Q1. So these are my Q1, this is shifted. Okay, so for second clock pulse, what will be the value? So this 2 will be XORed, so this is 1, and this 0 it will come here, and this 1 will come here. Fine. For third clock pulse, again this 2 will be XORed, so 0, and this 1 will come here, and this 0 will come here. For fourth clock pulse, again this 2 will be XORed, so 0. Similarly, this 0, it will be coming here, and this 1 will come here. And at fifth clock pulse, basically what will happen? This 0 and 1, it will XOR, and this 0 will come here, and this 0 will come here. So basically, when there was no propagation delay in XOR, you can see at your fifth clock pulse, you are getting this state what they have asked. So those of you who did not understand what is this concept of delay, if they have marked 5, let us see if this answer is correct or incorrect. Okay. So what am I going to do? I am going to draw the state diagram in the next page. Okay. So let me copy this thing. So here I have taken the grid wise because it will be simple to draw the curves here. Okay. So if I want to draw the waveform, it will be very simple for me. I hope you people are able to see these grid lines. Okay. So now look very carefully. These are all positive edge triggered. Okay, positive edge triggered. So this is one of the positive edge. This is one of the positive edge. This is one. This is one of the positive edge. This is one of the positive edge, and again here. So this is our waveform or clock. Okay. So this is basically what? This is your clock. Let me assume from this portion to this portion, this is my first clock. From here to here, this is my second clock. From here to here, this is my third clock. From here to here, this is my fourth clock. And from here to here, this is my fifth clock. Okay, everybody clear on this? Now first clock, let me assume the starting of the first clock is at 0 nanoseconds. So let me use a different color so that will be better. So this is 0 nanoseconds. What is the time period of the clock that we have calculated? It is 2 nanoseconds. So this will be what? 1 nanosecond. Now I am not writing nanosecond here. Okay. This will be 2, this will be 3, this will be 4, this will be 5, this will be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 nanoseconds. Okay, very good. So we are going to draw the waveform as this is the first clock pulse. So we are going to draw this waveform from here. Now you check what is happening. You check very carefully, check. When you go from 0 to first clock pulse, there is a transition in state. Basically Q2 is basically what? Look very carefully. So this D2 or Q2 plus, it is passing through this XOR gate which has propagation delay of 3 nanoseconds. So its output Q2 plus will also be generated after 3 nanosecond. Why? Because this gate, it has propagation delay of what? Of 3 nanoseconds. Okay. So look very carefully. I am writing here also 3 nanoseconds. Okay. So now look very, very carefully. So now let me mark the time. So this first clock pulse is applied at 0 nanoseconds. This second clock pulse, you can see it is applied at 2 nanosecond. Third clock pulse, it is applied at 4th nanosecond. Fourth clock pulse is applied at 6th nanosecond, and fifth clock pulse is applied at 8 nanoseconds. Okay. So I think you people will not be able to see this. So let me write it at this place. Fine. Okay. So now let me draw the waveforms. So if I now draw the waveform, tell me one thing. This one, if there was no delay in Q2, there is a delay in Q2 of 3 nanoseconds. Okay. we have seen here, because Q2 is connected to this XOR gate. Okay, so we have a 3 nanosecond delay. So now suppose if Q2 there was no delayed, so basically at 0 nanosecond this one it would have transitioned to 0, but now it will take how much time? It will take 3 nanosecond time. So basically this will be 1 till your 3 nanosecond and then it will go to 0. Now for, you can see what this will change, this 0 will change to 1 at 2 nanoseconds, but here we have a delay of 3 nanoseconds. So what will happen? This 0 will be holded up to which point? See, this will have been 0 till 2 nanoseconds. Okay, so this would have been 0 till 2 nanoseconds. You can check here, at 2 nanosecond what would have happened? It will become 1. But here basically this is what the delayed version, 3 nanoseconds. So basically after 6 nanoseconds it will convert back to 1. Now after how many nanoseconds it is again going back to 0? Again after 3 nanoseconds this will go back to 0. So this is your delayed version of Q2. Now what about Q1? Q1 and Q0, they are not the delayed version. I am simply going to draw it. So at 0 nanosecond Q1 is your 1. Previously also it was 1. Now at 0 nanosecond it is also 1, and this will continue till 2. Now it is going back to 0. So for the remaining clock pulse it will be 0. Then again it is 1. Again it is 1 for one more clock pulse. Then again 0 for back to back for 2 clock pulses. So this will be 0. Okay, so now I am having issue of space here. So let me just bring this part. Okay, I can do one thing. Okay, so this is what is the problem of online teaching. You don't get enough space here. Okay, so what I was telling, for the next 2 clock pulse, now I am not able to see the clock pulse. Okay, fine, now I am able to see. For the next 2 clock pulse it is what? It is your 0. So this will be also 0 up to this point. Fine. Now let me draw the sketch for Q0. So this is Q1. Now let me draw Q0. So this is 1. So this will remain at 1 for this clock duration whole. Next also it will remain 1. So this is 1. Next it will go to 0. So for this clock pulse it is 0. What is the next state? It is 1. So this is 1. So I cannot see the next. After 1 it is again back to 0. So this is back to 0 here. Okay, so this is back to 0. So now these are my states. So let me see what are the values here. Okay, what are the values present? What they have basically asked me, with the D2 minimum, the minimum number of triggering clock edges after which flip-flop output Q2, Q1, Q0 becomes 1, 0, 0. Fine. So I need to see when it is 1, 0, 0. So let me write the states. It is 1, 1, 1. Okay, so for each clock pulse I am going to write. So this is first 0 clock pulse. So here you can see it is 1, 1, 1. So this is second clock pulse. So here the value is what? 1, 1, 1. Even it is 1, 1, 1. Fine. For this clock pulse, what is the, sorry, not this clock pulse. This is the third nanosecond. Okay. So for this clock pulse, you can see there are intermediate values. So in between 2 to 3 nanoseconds, we have what? We have 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1. Okay. We have intermediate values. In between 4th and 6th nanosecond, what is the value I am getting? Remember, we need to have this value. We are checking for this value. So whenever we encounter such value, we are going to see. So here what is the value? It is 0, 0. Here it is 1, 1. And here also it is 0, 0. Okay. So at this position, what is my value? in between 6 nanosecond to 8 nanosecond, you are seeing this value is 1, this value is 0, and this value is also 1, and this value is 1, this value is 0, this value is 1. Okay. So in between 8 and 10 nanosecond, what is your value? This value is 1, this value is 0, this value is 0, this value is 0, this value is 0, this value is 0. Now you see whatever value they have asked, you are encountering in between 8 to 9 nanosecond. And where is your 8 to 9 nanosecond in which clock pulse? In your 5th clock pulse. In your 5th clock pulse, you can see 8 to 9 nanosecond. In between 8 to 9 nanosecond, your counter, it is giving the state they have asked for. So at which clock pulse? At 5th clock pulse. So basically, even if you had solved this question, means those of you who have solved like this and you got 5 as your answer, so this was quite lucky for you people. Mind this, you people were quite lucky that you got this answer. So 5 is the correct answer, even if you solve this question without any logic of your delay. Okay, without any logic of your propagation delay for this XOR gate, if you solve this question, still you will be getting the same answer with whatever complex logic we have seen here. Okay, so mind this, this is a very good question, and I will, means those of you who are preparing now, I will be suggesting you people that you draw this waveform on your own once. Okay, try to justify what I have just said right now, and this will build your concept. Okay, so 5 is the correct answer to this question. So these were all the questions that were asked to electronics and communication for digital electronics. I hope you people enjoyed the session. If you have done so, please press the thumbs up button. If you people have any issues with today's session, you can just comment in the comment section below. And you can do what? You can share it with your other friends or other aspirants, those of whom you know. So you can share my video with them, so even they might get help. Okay, so see you in the next session then. Thank you.